When I first poured yogurt into my garden, I didn't expect much. Maybe a funny smell, maybe a few puzzled looks from my neighbors, but what unfolded over the next few weeks was nothing short of incredible. My dull, lifeless beds transformed into vibrant living ecosystems bursting with growth. The soil came alive again. And here's the shocker, it wasn't because of fertilizer, it was because of probiotics. The same gut-friendly microbes that keep our digestive systems healthy can also heal and supercharge your garden soil. Sounds unbelievable? Stick around because this isn't gardening folklore, it's soil science in action. Healthy soil is more than just dirt. It's a living, breathing community of microbes that feed your plants, regulate moisture and fight off disease. But years of chemical fertilizers, compacted soil and over-tilling have wiped out these essential microbes. Think of it like your gut after a round of antibiotics. Technically fine, but stripped of its good bacteria and struggling to function properly. That's why even the most nutrient-rich fertilizers can fall flat if your soil's microbial life is dead. What your garden really needs isn't just nutrients. It needs life. That's where yogurt comes in. Plain, unsweetened yogurt packed with live cultures is loaded with Lactobacillus, a beneficial bacterium that can bring your soil back to life. These microscopic allies work tirelessly underground, breaking down organic matter, unlocking nutrients, and even suppressing harmful fungi that cause root rot. They're like tiny compost machines and immune boosters rolled into one. Once they settle in, they create an environment where plants can thrive naturally. Greener leaves, stronger roots and better yields without the chemical cocktail. Now, before you grab a spoon and head out to your garden, there's a method to making this work. The key is in the right mix. Too much yogurt, and your soil turns sour and anaerobic. Too little and the microbes won't multiply enough to make a difference. After a lot of experimentation here at Crop Corner, the perfect balance turned out to be 1 part plain yogurt to 3 parts clean water. That's it. For a liter of solution, use 250 milliliters of yogurt and 750 milliliters of water. Mix gently in a clean container until it's smooth and consistent. You're not whipping a smoothie, just blending life back into your soil. If you're treating a larger area, like a 100 square foot garden bed, just scale the same ratio up. You'll need about 1.5 cups of yogurt mixed into 4.5 cups of water. For every 500 square feet, use around 7 cups, or roughly 3 pounds, of yogurt mixed with 21 cups of water. Once it's all mixed, go ahead and pour the solution evenly over your soil. Aim for early morning or late evening when the sun is low, so the microbes aren't destroyed by heat or UV exposure. Use about 2 cups of the diluted yogurt mix for every 10 square feet of soil, making sure it soaks at least 2 inches deep. If your soil is compacted or severely depleted, you'll want to apply the mix every 2 weeks for about 2 months. For already healthy soil, a treatment every 6 to 8 weeks will keep the microbial balance just right. Always follow up with a light watering using plain water to help those probiotics sink deeper and establish themselves. You'll start noticing changes within days. Your soil will begin to smell fresh and earthy again, and within a couple of weeks plants will look stronger, their colors richer, and their roots noticeably denser. But yogurt's magic doesn't stop at the soil surface. It's a compost accelerator too. Add 1 cup of yogurt for every 1 cubic foot of compost, then mix thoroughly. The live cultures will kickstart microbial activity, heating the pile faster and breaking down materials more efficiently. You'll likely notice the earthy scent intensify. That's the smell of life returning to your compost. Yogurt can cut composting time in half, turning waste into nutrient-rich humus faster than most store-bought compost starters. So, the real power behind yogurt's transformation actually lies in the Lactobacillus species. These lactic acid bacteria really thrive in slightly acidic environments where they get to work breaking down organic matter into nutrients that plants can use right away. They're not just decomposing waste, they convert it into natural growth hormones, unlock bound phosphorus and potassium, and even help with nitrogen fixation. What's more, they produce natural compounds that suppress some pretty nasty pathogens, like fusarium and pythium, which are notorious for causing root rot and damping off. By adding these beneficial microbes to your soil, you're basically crowding out the bad guys and restoring balance the natural, old-fashioned way. And here's the fascinating part. This kind of microbial revival actually improves soil structure too. Over time, you'll notice that compacted soil starts to loosen up, drainage gets better, and water retention becomes more stable. The soil turns crumbly and rich, just like you'd find on a forest floor. So you're not just feeding your plants anymore, you're actually rebuilding an underground ecosystem that can sustain itself. Of course, just like with anything in gardening, moderation is key. If you use too much yogurt, the soil can become overly acidic, which can end up suffocating roots and harming those beneficial microbes you want to encourage. If you ever notice a sour odor, or see a thick white film that doesn't look like healthy mold, it's best to pause the treatment and give your soil a little break. And always, seriously, always, use plain, unsweetened yogurt with live cultures. Avoid anything that's flavored, sweetened, or expired. Sugars and additives can encourage the wrong kinds of bacteria and really throw your soil's delicate microbial balance out of whack. For those running larger gardens or farms, yogurt is, well, a gateway into probiotic farming. Once you see the results, you can graduate to specialized Lactobacillus cultures designed for agricultural use. But for home gardeners, yogurt remains the most accessible and affordable way to jumpstart soil health. Store any leftover mixture in the refrigerator for up to 48 hours. After that, the microbes lose their potency. The first time I tried this, I was honestly pretty skeptical, but within just a few weeks, my garden transformed. The soil that once felt totally lifeless now smelled alive, deep, rich, and earthy. My plants, which had been struggling before, suddenly grew lush and vibrant. Tomatoes actually doubled in size, herbs flourished, and, the difference was visible even from across the yard. The best part? No chemical fertilizers, no fancy products, just yogurt and water. This experiment taught me something really fundamental. Your garden doesn't just need nutrients, it needs balance. It needs good bacteria to digest organic matter and release food in forms plants can actually use. When you nurture your soil like you nurture your gut, everything changes. You're not just feeding plants, you're healing the earth beneath them. So, if your garden feels tired or unproductive, maybe skip the synthetic boosters for once. Give yogurt a try. Seriously, a little goes a long way, and the results might just shock you like they did me. Healthier plants, richer compost, and soil that almost seems to breathe. It's all possible with one simple probiotic boost. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Crop Corner for more practical, science-backed gardening tips. Share this with your fellow growers, and let's keep spreading the secret of living soil, because when your soil thrives, your garden thrives. And it all starts with a spoonful of yogurt.